Cardenas. Jane Casares, what's the latest?
Nancy, we've got some breaking news coming in. Authorities have just retrieved a receipt for tires from the suspect in this case, the person that they believe has Juliani Cardenas. This is a receipt from April of 2009. A local tire dealer came forward and said he sold 4 tires to this man believed to be driving the silver Toyota Corolla. And now what they are going to do is to take the treads from those tires to see if they can match them with the fresh tracks that were at the scene of that canal.
Oh dear, oh dear. You know what? That's not good at all. To Mark Class, president, founder, Class Kids Foundation, you know the circumstances surrounding his disappearance. The little boy literally snatched out of the arms of his grandmother. What do you think, Mark?
Well, I think it'll be easy to determine if that was the car or not. Remember, he had on a donut spare tire. But I also think that the authorities need to be looking at his friends and family. This guy did not have a lot of money. He's got to be broke now. And if he's out there with a little boy, somebody is helping him. The most obvious suspects would be friends or family. Now, he also, from where he was located, could have gone in myriad directions. He could have headed south to Mexico. He could have headed to the Bay Area. He could have headed down to Los Angeles, or he could have headed north or east on Highway 80, but I think anybody in their right mind would try to avoid the cold spell that's going through America right now, so I think those other areas are the areas that you would want to focus on.
Jane Casares, take it from the beginning. This little boy, 4-year-old Juliani Cardenas, snatched from his grandmother's arms. Tell me what happened.
Well, he was taken. He was later, surveillance video showed him, and we're talking about Jose Rodriguez buying beer shortly before he took little Juliani Cardenas, and what is critically important here is a farm worker in the area said that he saw this 2003 silver Toyota Corolla with 2 people in it being driven into this canal, and the focus, Nancy, continues to be this canal. They continue to take cars out of it, believing that that vehicle is in that water.
Well, how many vehicles have they taken out, Jane Casares?
You know, the latest report says 6. I also read 9, but they are focusing on the vehicles that went in latest. But, Nancy, there was a silver Lexus that was reported missing that was retrieved from that canal, and my thought was, wow, maybe that farm worker mistook the Lexus for the silver Toyota Corolla, but I don't think the tire tracks matched, or they would now discount the canal.
Now, let's explain how you get the tire tracks. To the lawyers, Kirby Clements, Raymond Judice, you know, for many, many years, evidence like that, tire tracks, were not allowed until they could be scientifically proven. Now what they do is go and take the tire, match it up, and if it comes into court, they make a cast, an actual cast of it to show it to a jury. How do they do it, Kirby Clements?
Well, first of all, they have a crime scene technician come out to the scene. They actually pour the plaster of Paris into the ground, and they actually get that. Then they have someone who is actually an expert in tire track comparison to compare those, and they come into court and testify. And they do sort of short circuit us defense lawyers, because they'll say, here's your cast, here's your tire, find your expert if you want him, and see if they can refute what we have to say.
To Raymond Judice, the likelihood that he would commit suicide with the little boy, by all accounts, he loved the little boy. He had tried to get the little boy a couple of times from school. The school had been advised not to let him go with the little boy, but as he sees the mom breaking up with him, he gets the little boy. What's the likelihood he's going to commit suicide to keep the boy?
I think it's very low, Nancy. I agree with you there. In fact, the cases where we've seen children killed, whether it's in creeks or a lake, we seem to have the parents and the drivers of the car mysteriously come out with dry clothing, alleging that the car went out the road. So I don't think the suicide tact is going to be a good defense should he ever be found.
To Jane Casares, is there part of the canal they cannot search?
Yes, because it's a very, very dangerous area. It's a suction tube which suctions that water in parts, and a car can get within there, and divers cannot. It's too dangerous to go into that territory.
Jane, explain to me how he managed to get into the home. I mean, the mom and the grandmother knew he had tried to get the boy from the school. How did he get into the home to get the boy?
Just walked into the garage, and that's where they were. And he'd come early in the morning, and he saw Tabitha, the mother. Didn't really say anything. She told him to get out of there. He went to the school and then went back later that afternoon and got the little boy.
Had there been any threats before? Any suicide threats, Jinkosaurus?
Not that I know of. Not any suicide threats, no. But here's the thing. The car had dark tinting on it. So how could the farm workers see two people in the front seat as they went into the canal if you've got dark tint on the car?
You know, Jinkosaurus, I pray to God that you're right. Tip line, please help us find Juliani Cardenas. Take a look at this 4-year-old little boy. 209-552-2472. 209-552-2472. There is a reward in the case. And tonight, please help us find